Support for Central Florida Public Media comes from Orange County Library System, offering enriching programs and resources for seniors at 15 locations throughout the county, with hands-on workshops, expert-led seminars, and more. A complete list of programs is available at ocls.org/senior/events.
Central Florida Public Media and StoryCorps are asking the community to take one small step to bridge the political divide. You're listening to The Wrap from Central Florida Public Media. I'm Brendan Byrne. Central Florida Public Media and StoryCorps are bringing together strangers with differing political beliefs for guided conversations. This week, liberal Shia Kirby and conservative Allie Nichols are University of Central Florida classmates who met in person for the first time for a one small step conversation to close the gap in politics.
This very strong polarization of my side, your side, mindset is super harmful.
That makes a lot of sense that it's hard to come together when everybody's me, me, me.
Hear from Kirby and Nichols about polarization and moving beyond the labels. That's ahead on The Wrap, the big stories this week from Central Florida Public Media. But first, these headlines. Governor Ron DeSantis has signed a proclamation for a late April special session. WUSF's Douglas Soul reports he wants to change Florida's U.S. congressional map.
Governor Ron DeSantis wants the state to redistrict after a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that could change how race factors into drawing political boundaries.
I have a very high degree of confidence that at least one or two of those districts on our current map are going to be implicated by this Supreme Court decision.
Florida House members have said they want to make a new map during the regular session, which starts next week and ends in mid-March. House Democratic leader Fentrice Driscoll says Republicans want to give themselves an advantage in the midterms.
People should pick their politicians. Politicians should not pick their people. Florida's government should not be rigging elections.
Florida's current map already favors the GOP, with 20 House Republican seats and only 8 for Democrats. I'm Douglas Soul in Tallahassee.
Orange County Public Schools has released preliminary plans for the 7 schools that could be closed in the district due to under-enrollment. Central Florida Public Media's education reporter Danielle Pryor finds any plans for rezoning would need to be approved by the school board.
The district has released a chart detailing the potential uses of the 7 schools that could be closed. Under the proposal, some schools would be converted into a pediatric health facility, a student welcome center, a space for warehousing and facility services. Others would be used for professional development and training in the district. In addition, the district says Acceleration East and Positive Pathways, although not included in the schools being closed, might be moving to newly upgraded facilities. In a statement, Orange County Public Schools says, quote, "No decision has been made. However, we want to provide as much transparency as possible." Danielle Pryor, Central Florida Public Media.
A crew of 4 is making an early return from the International Space Station due to an astronaut's serious medical issue. NASA didn't disclose the name of the crew member or the medical issue prompting the early return due to privacy concerns. The medical issue canceled a planned spacewalk, and now it's prompting what NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman is calling a medical evacuation.
I've come to the decision that it's in the best interest of our astronauts to return Crew 11 ahead of their planned departure.
He says the crew will depart the station in the next few days. They were planning to stay until a replacement crew arrived next month. It's the first time a NASA mission has been cut short due to medical reasons. These stories and more on our website. Visit cfpublic.org. The ACA tax subsidies expired on January 1st, increasing premiums for recipients of the popular program known as Obamacare. And Central Florida participants are already feeling the changes. This week on Engage, the impact of the ACA tax subsidies expiration. Get it where you get this podcast. Central Florida Public Media and StoryCorps are bringing together strangers with differing political beliefs for guided conversations. We hear from 20-year-old liberal Shia Kirby.
This very strong polarization of my side, your side, mindset is super harmful.
And 21-year-old conservative Allie Nichols.
That makes a lot of sense that it's hard to come together when everybody's me, me, me.
The University of Central Florida students began their conversation talking about growing up in suburbia.
I think growing up in the suburbs in sort of, a nice white neighborhood, for lack of better words, made it easy for me to stay where I was. Being comfortable or kind of not really seeing bad that goes on in the world. As a kid, my parents wanted to protect me from that. And then as an adult, I was like, oh my God, this has been going on the whole time. I think the suburbs, it's good to get out of them sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so funny you mentioned that. I also grew up in a pretty white suburb area.
So what was your childhood like growing up?
I grew up in a pretty conservative county, and I often ended up being the only Black girl, if not the only Black student in my classes. It was a bit isolating there. The only people that looked like me were my family members, and then I'm the only person thinking about, how people are perceiving me as a Black woman. If you could briefly describe in your own personal words your own political values, what would it be?
I guess I would say I'm conservative in the ways that I want to preserve, traditionally Christian values, but just traditional values. The importance of family and the importance of life and the role of government, I guess, in all of that. But yeah, could you briefly describe your own personal political values?
Yeah. If I were to put it in a few words, so far left, thinking about equality and making sure that marginalized communities and voices are represented.
Yeah.
Do you think about political issues on the daily, or is it kind of like when it comes up, it comes up?
I don't think about it that much until it does come up, but it does come up on the daily. Yeah. Like you said, life, existence is political. I try not to be super engrossed in that mentally, because the weight of the world is a lot. The weight of the nation is a lot on my mind.
At least for me, I think that I am super involved in politics. If I'm not studying it in a class, I'm researching it on my free time. It's coming up on my For You page.
What do you think divides us the most right now?
I think there's a lack of trying to understand one another. There is a significant lack of empathy in today's current time, and I think that's been heavily pushed by social media and the ability to be anonymous behind a screen and be so hateful. And I also think this very strong polarization of my side, your side, mindset is super harmful.
That makes a lot of sense, that it's hard to come together when everybody's me right now. I think it's the labels. It's Republican versus Democrat, conservative versus liberal. Whatever it may be, it's very easy to say, this is my label and that's yours. Yeah. So we could never get together or, be friends or whatever. That's really sad to me, because it is just a label.
I think that just stops so much conversation and growth and areas to actually build community with one another. We're not going to be able to achieve any goals if we're unable to actually sit down, calm down, and hear other people out and actually get to understand what's being said to them.
Yeah, that's what matters at the end of the day. Exactly. Coming together.
Exactly.
To hear more One Small Step conversations, go to cfpublic.org. That's it for The Wrap this week. This podcast is produced by Central Florida Public Media with editorial assistance from News Director Latoya Dennis. I'm Brendan Byrne. This is The Wrap.